Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube. And a lot of the times here on the channel, we're kind of watching for signs of the end times. A lot of us realize we're in that season now. We're seeing more and more of these signs of the end times, or the rise of the beast, or the rise of the Antichrist. We cover these subjects and more here on the channel, and oftentimes we're looking for synchronicities or patterns, even symbols. And I've noticed a few interesting things here recently I just wanted to share with you. So you may have heard about this. This just happened a few weeks back. There are archaeologists from Egypt and Germany, and they discovered the remains of an ancient Egyptian statue. And this was in Cairo. Now at first they were saying it was Ramses II, but since then they believe it could be a different pharaoh. And whether it was Ramses or not isn't really the point of the story to me. If you haven't done any study on ancient Egypt and the connection to the fallen angels, you should check into that. And you should also look into some of these stories as well, some of the elongated skulls that have been found all around the world. Here's one: could bizarre skulls with non-human DNA be proof of aliens on Earth? They found these skulls in Peru a few years ago, and they actually tested them, and of course it came back that it was non-human DNA. Now, I believe this is connected to the fallen angels. And of course, the world tells us that these are aliens, an alien species. Oftentimes, we're told the most truth through media, through films and television and even music. So this is from the movie Prometheus. It's a science fiction film that came out a few years ago. If you watch the movie and you have your eyes open to these kind of things, you'll see that it tells the whole story here. It's telling the story about the fallen angels trying to breed with humanity. And in this film, these beings are seen as aliens. Once again, we see that idea that it's all aliens or extraterrestrials. It's also interesting to note in these films that the alien creature itself, or the fallen angel hybrid creature itself, actually has a bit of a cone head, connecting us back to some of these, what I believe are fallen angel relics, these skulls with cone heads that were found in Peru that are non-human DNA, which connects us back to Cairo and the find of these massive statues that I believe could be relics of the fallen ones. And of course, as you see here, what do we have? A cone head once again. So this is another photo from the find as they were trying to bring this statue out of the earth. And to me it symbolizes something else as well. So this is a screenshot from the trailer for the new Mummy movie coming out sometime here in 2017, starring Tom Cruise. And in many respects it's playing out exactly what we saw in Cairo. This is an example of the beast rising from the earth. Even as the trailer's playing out, the narrator is saying, prepare yourself for a new world of gods and monsters. Even looking at this is the outer shell that is supposed to be encompassing the creature, the beast that's going to rise. But even looking at this, it has very much an alien look to it to me, very much like a gray alien type look. And of course we have that serpentine kind of look there as well. So once again, a connection back to that idea that the aliens, it's aliens, it's extraterrestrial, when in fact, I believe that's just the cover-up, but these really are the fallen ones, and this is how they'll look to some degree. So I find it interesting how we're living in this duality type world, and oftentimes we'll see these things playing out, as I said, in popular culture. So right around the time they found these statues in Cairo, they're also releasing this movie, The Mummy. And in both instances, we're seeing a representation of the beast rising from the earth. And that comes from the Bible in Revelation. There are two beasts. The first beast comes out of the sea and is given authority and power by the dragon. The second beast comes out of the earth. But what about the first beast? Have we seen any representation of that beast rising out of the sea? You bet we have. And it's also important to note there's a connection here with the secret societies. There's a connection here with Freemasonry. Because the neighborhood in which that statue was discovered is in the eastern part of the city, Cairo, and it was built over the ancient city of Heliopolis. And that city was so named because it served as the center of worship for the ancient Egyptian sun god Re. So this connects it all. It connects the fallen ones, and it also connects the worship of the light, the worship of the false light, the worship of Lucifer, sun, S-U-N worship. So just a few years ago we had this story here. Gaza fisherman hooks statue of ancient Greek god Apollo. So here's more of a full body shot of what they pulled out of the sea. Here's a closer picture of the statue's face. A few things I find interesting there. One, of course, they have the one eye darkened out. We know that goes back to some mythology. And number two, why is it on a blanket of Smurfs? I remember reading this story and they were saying that that's the only thing they had around. It was a child's blanket. But either way, I don't really know if there's anything important there or not. I just find it interesting. There's blue Smurfs on there, and this is a blue statue of Apollo. But moving on. There are many people that interpret Apollo as another representation of the Antichrist. The Bible actually mentions Apollo by name. If you go to Revelation 9:11, it talks about Apollyon, it's the Greek, and Abaddon, which is Hebrew, is seen rising up out of the bottomless pit. Revelation 9:11. So now we have that manifesting in reality. We have a physical form of the, quote, Antichrist rising from the sea. So in keeping with this theme of the returning of the ancient gods, I actually did a video back in 2014 about this very subject called ISIS and Ancient Gods Returning for Armageddon. And it's all about this subject that we're talking about. It's all about the physical manifestation of a lot of these, quote, ancient gods. So I have to admit I was just a little bit surprised when recently I saw a trailer for a new TV series coming out called American Gods. And this whole TV show is all about the old gods, the ancient gods, fighting against the new gods, and how they are all manifesting now physically in this reality. So these are just more signs of the times, the way I see things. We are literally seeing the return of the ancient gods, so to speak. We're seeing the veil lifting at a really quick pace now. And all of these things are manifesting all around us, sometimes in the most obscure ways. But for those who have the eyes to see, you'll see these things. So I'll leave you with that. It's what I wanted to share with you. Stay awake, stay aware. These are some crazy times we're living in. And I appreciate you checking out the videos. Take care out there, guys, and I'll talk to you a little later.